I get asked by you all the time if apple cider vinegar gummies are good. Which brand should I use? Do they even do anything? I've been having these companies send apple cider vinegar gummies to my clinic for the past 2 years. So today I break my silence on these ACV gummies. Hey Wellness Warrior, I'm Dr. Nick Zyrowski, and I started my holistic health practice in order to help you take control of your health naturally, because true health only comes naturally. So be sure to subscribe to the channel. Hit that notification bell, because on YouTube, subscribes really mean nothing now. Give this video a thumbs up and comment down below. And if you could comment, I'd greatly appreciate it, because you know what? YouTube really doesn't like natural health channels like mine anymore. So the more you comment, the more you like, the more it helps the channel, and I'd greatly appreciate it. I have been a huge advocate of apple cider vinegar for many years. It offers so many different benefits, and the thing is about it is that it's something that's very inexpensive to use, and you can use it right in the comfort of your home. Now, is it going to reverse every health condition that you've ever had and solve every health crisis that you may ever face? Absolutely not. But what it can do is it can start nudging your health in the right direction. It could be the first step to you transforming your health. And as I said, there's many benefits. So to put this whole conversation in context, because we're going to talk a lot about science today and the lack of science behind many of these products on the market, which I think you'll find very interesting, I want to start about the two major science-backed benefits of apple cider vinegar. First one's going to be lowering your blood sugar, okay? I'm going to talk about a couple studies real quick. Now, there's one study that showed that apple cider vinegar increased insulin sensitivity between 19 and 34% during a high-carb meal. This significantly lowered blood sugar and also improved the insulin response, okay? So that's pretty darn good. I mean, that's really awesome if you're just simply drinking a little bit of apple cider vinegar. How much effort did somebody put into that? Really nothing at all. So why not do it? Another study showed that, and it was a smaller study, that had blood sugar reduced by 31.4% after eating 50 grams of white bread, okay? So basically, if you're eating a high carb meal, you can use apple cider vinegar to lower your blood sugar. Why not? Pretty simple and very beneficial use for it. Next is going to be, it reduced fasting blood sugar in diabetes by 4% when they consumed it before bed. So if you're a diabetic, you want to lower your blood sugar. This is a type 2 diabetic. You want to lower your blood sugar, then you could have 1 to 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar before bed. You get that 4% decrease. Very simple thing to do in order to yield you good results over time. And then there's many other studies that show that apple cider vinegar improves insulin function and also lowers blood sugar levels after meals. Now, the second major benefit is going to be weight loss. And I will tell you that pretty much anything that you do that improves your insulin sensitivity, decreases your blood sugar, decreases your levels of insulin in the body, will all lead to weight loss. That is a perfect formula for weight loss, and that is what apple cider vinegar does. Now, there's even studies that show that apple cider vinegar directly help you lose weight. And I want to point out before I mention this study that many of the results that are on the internet, where you see all these different gurus going and saying that they drank apple cider vinegar and they lost just an obscene amount of weight, these results are typically very hyperinflated and not true. I've pointed that out many times, because here's the thing. Apple cider vinegar has its benefits, but most people aren't going to use it if they are seeing unrealistic results online and then they're not getting those same results themselves. There's one study that actually shows us, though, that there's 175 obese people that showed daily apple cider vinegar consumption, and it led to both reduced belly fat and weight loss. Once again, it's not going to reverse every problem you have, but it starts nudging you in the right direction. Now let's go ahead and talk about some of these gummies. As we go through these apple cider vinegar gummies, I will not be mentioning any company names, because it is not my goal to disparage any company out there, but what we will do is we'll look at the real nutrition facts, the ingredients from the top 3 apple cider vinegar gummy companies out there. Now, the first one we're going to look at, what their recommended dose per day is going to be 2 gummies, okay? In those 2 gummies, there's going to be 5 grams of sugar. Now, I don't know about you, but when I was a kid, if you ate something with 5 grams of sugar, that small, that was considered candy. And now people are considering it like a health-producing gummy vitamin. Now, to give you an idea of what 5 grams of sugar looks like in these apple cider vinegar gummies, I'll show you. It's this amount of sugar. Now, would you go dump this amount of sugar in your mouth and consider it to be healthy? I wouldn't. Now, as we move on and we look at the ingredient list in this particular gummy, it has cane sugar as the first ingredient in the other ingredients section. Then it goes on to have corn syrup, and later on in the ingredients, it has maple syrup. So we have 3 types of sugar. To go further into this apple cider vinegar, mind you that this company has sold like probably thousands or hundreds of thousands of bottles of these and is a major player in the world of supplementation. These gummies don't even have the mother in them, and a lot of the benefits from apple cider vinegar actually comes from the bacterial culture, which is called the mother. That's where a lot of enzymes and different probiotics are, so it doesn't even have that in it. Now, when you look at the actual apple cider vinegar within the gummies, it's only 5% derived from apple cider vinegar. Everything else just comes from other citrusy fruits. So it's basically acetic acid from citrus fruits. So it's kind of unbelievable. Now, when we actually break down the amount of apple cider vinegar in this dose, these 2 gummies that you're gonna have every day, and the 5 grams of sugar that comes with it, one of the things that you're gonna find is that it only has 500 milligrams in those 2 gummies. When you look at 500 milligrams of apple cider vinegar, it's basically 2 liquid teaspoons. There's no research out there that supports that you're gonna get any benefit from 2 liquid teaspoons of apple cider vinegar. Now, the other thing that I wanna point out here is that these companies are using apple cider vinegar research to support their products, but yet the dosing that they put in it has nothing to do with the research. Like, the dosing doesn't even come close to support the benefits that the research is showing. And so we always have to look at this with a very critical eye and make sure that we know what we're buying. Now, the next gummies I want to look at, same thing, 2 gummies, and of those 2 gummies, when you eat them, you get 4 grams of sugar. Now, the interesting thing about these particular gummies is they're loaded with a ton of other vitamins. And I get that apple cider vinegar is like the main attraction here, but when we look at all these other vitamins, you know, as somebody who actually has studied vitamins and nutrition and helped people reverse a lot of health conditions by using these vitamins, I asked, why would they put these in here? And when I looked at the breakdown of them, it was basically vitamins that support the stress pathway in the body, one known as the methylation pathway. And so why they're comparing apple cider vinegar to these vitamins, I have no idea. It doesn't really make a lot of sense to me. And not to mention the dosing that it was in really made no sense either, because according to the research, it will literally do nothing for you, most likely. So at the end of the day, I don't understand the purpose of this entire packet of gummies. Now, when we look at the breakdown of each gummy, there's 2 grams of sugar per gummy, and there's 500 milligrams of apple cider vinegar in it. So when we look at the breakdown, there's gonna be about 1,000 milligrams of apple cider vinegar, 500 more than the last ones when you consume 2 gummies. But still, when you compare it to the research that supports apple cider vinegar, they still just aren't going to do a whole lot for you. You know, these are supplements that I often refer to as glamour supplements. They have great marketing behind them. They're pretty, they have great color and everything else. The ads are just wonderful. And they also are inexpensive. They have low quality ingredients at low levels that make no sense in them. So a lot of times they're extremely cheap, so people love them. And then lastly, they're yummy. So people just want to buy them, eat them up because they're delicious. But at the end of the day, when you look at them, they have no real value to the body. And there's a lot of supplements out there, and a lot of people buy these up like crazy in the marketplace. I mean, not you guys, of course, because you watch this channel and you know better. But you know what? Let me tell you something. You know what's really funny is when you read the reviews on these different gummies, because they're actually quite hilarious. Let me give you an example. I love this product. So far, I've lost 8 pounds, and I've recommended this to several of my friends trying to lose weight. 5-star review. Now, look, as somebody who understands, the physiology, the metabolism, all these things, it is literally impossible to take these gummies and lose 8 pounds by taking them. It's not even in the realm of possibilities. So when you look at these different reviews, maybe this person started a new diet, maybe they started exercising, maybe they did something. They went in on a calorie deficit, but I can tell you right now that there is no way that these gummies helped them lose 8 pounds. It didn't happen. It's impossible. Now let's look at the most popular apple cider vinegar gummies. In the realm of apple cider vinegar gummies, I mean, this thing is the celebrity. Not only has it had multiple celebrities endorse it, it's had cameos on big time TV shows. Now, when we look at the details of of it, you should consume 1 to 2 gummies 3 times per day. Each gummy has 1 gram of sugar in it, and if you consume 2 gummies 3 times a day, that'll be a total of 6 grams of sugar per day. Now, do you see the irony in this situation? We looked at the research behind apple cider vinegar when we started all this, and what we found basically is that it helps lower your blood sugar. Now, what research out there shows that you should put sugar with your apple cider vinegar and it's going to help lower your blood sugar? In fact, it really is extremely counterintuitive, and the irony behind that is almost hilarious. And the funniest part about all of it is that these companies, I don't even want to say funny because most people believe this stuff, not you guys of course, but most people do. But the craziest part about it is that they are hinging their research on apple cider vinegar, which is done by using apple cider vinegar like this right here. They're hinging their product marketing on its research. They have no research to support their gummies. They're using research done on something totally different. Nobody had ever taken a bottle of this, put a couple scoops of sugar in it, and then done research on it. That doesn't exist. So as we look at this company's reviews, once again, quite hilarious. Let's take a look at one of them. Did nothing. I actually gained weight. Well, that's probably because you're eating all that sugar now. Another one says, I've ate 6 bottles of them. 6 bottles. I mean, these aren't cheap. 6 bottles and I've gained 1 pound. So, you know, here they are thinking that they're going to lose weight by eating these things, and they're actually gaining weight because they are not going to help you lose weight. Look, if you want to eat these gummies because you think it's a good treat at night and that's what makes you happy, I'm not here to tell you you can't. What I'm telling you is that you probably shouldn't. Since the inception of this channel, I've endorsed 2 ways of using apple cider vinegar. The first is like this. You use a liquid apple cider vinegar. Now this one is the Bragg's brand. Whether you use this brand or any other brand, it doesn't really matter. A lot of people who've watched my videos speculate that they pay me to mention them on video. If they do, I have yet to receive a check, but I'm still hopeful for it, so I'm holding on. Now, a few things we want to look for is going to be, we want to make sure it's organic because the apples are highly sprayed, lots of pesticides go on apples, so in order to reduce toxic load, get organic whenever possible, especially even if you're eating apples, get organic. And then we want to get it with the mother, because the mother is that bacterial culture that you'll see that's kind of floating around at the bottom of this that freaks a lot of people out. That mother has a lot of enzyme benefit, probiotic benefits, so we want to make sure that we get it with the mother. Now, when we look at the research, it points to using 1 to 2 tablespoons up to 1 to 2 times per day, and that has been what has been shown to work, okay? Not sugar-filled gummies. Now you can have it when you're fasting, you can have it with a high-carb meal, you can have it before bed in order to help bring down your fasted blood sugar in the morning. There's a lot of ways you can use it. You can make different drinks with it. I show you on this channel in my apple cider vinegar playlist. So there's a lot of ways that you can use it. Now the second way that I've endorsed using apple cider vinegar is in capsule form, okay? And there's only one that I've endorsed because let me tell you, that market gets, that's a whole new level of scamming right there. But this particular apple cider vinegar capsule, it has 710 milligrams of apple cider vinegar coming from real apple cider vinegar, and it also is including the mother as well. And what I'll do is I'll put a link in the description below so you can check those out, because like I said, it's the only one that I've endorsed, and there's a lot out there. Now, if you want to learn more about the scams going on in the apple cider vinegar supplement market, then check this video out right over here. Many people are buying it thinking it's coming from apple cider vinegar when it's in fact not. Now, acetic acid is a very inexpensive ingredient, so these are going to be inexpensive capsules.